Today we're going to use something called biblionasium, and we're going to use this site to serve at the same purpose as our paper reading log, but that way it is electronic and you have better access to it, and I have better access to it, and it's just going to take us a little bit to get it set up because we didn't have computers at the beginning of the year. Otherwise we would have started this from the beginning of the year. But we're going to take just a few minutes to work through this today. So the site is called biblionasium. Biblio, kind of book, Biblio, and then nasium, nasium.com. There's also a link to this site on Edmodo for you, biblionasium.com. When you get to this site, you'll see this screen come up, and you're going to click Members Sign In. You want to choose Kids Sign In. I made an account for my daughter so I could show you guys, walk you through the process so you'll see it from the student point of view. Everyone's username is the first letter of their first name. My daughter's name is Ashton. So it's the first letter of your first name and then your entire last name. There are a few exceptions because for some people that username was already taken. If you try this and it doesn't work, then add your middle initial. Add the next 4 letters of your name. So if A. Montgomery didn't work, try ASHT Montgomery and see if that works, because some people I did have to add some more letters to get their username to accept. And then everyone's password for right now is Eminence, and you're welcome to change that if you would like to. You can also, I would actually suggest that you do click Remember Me so that you don't have to remember your password and all of that. Apparently, I typed it in incorrectly. Sorry about that. Okay, so when you log in for the very first time, you're going to see an honor code. Read the honor code. You check that you agree to it. It's just telling you to be respectful, not to say mean things on here, just, common sense stuff. And then you can go through. You're welcome to go ahead and select an avatar. Don't spend 20 minutes finding an avatar, but if you want to spend 2 minutes and find an avatar, you're welcome to do that. But then the thing I really want you to concentrate on today is to add books. When you click Add Books, it says this is your bookshelf. So what I want you to do is click on Finished Books. And I've already went ahead and added 1 book to Ashton's bookshelf here. She hasn't actually read that. I just picked a random book. So I picked A Child Called It. But what I want to do is I want to add another book to the Finished Books list. So I'm going to click Search for Books. What I want you to do is just look at your yellow reading log and add the books that you've already read. So, for example, I know she has read Little Women. So I'm going to type in Little Women. I know this is the author, Louisa May Alcott, so I'm going to click on that. This is the correct, so it will show you different covers, so you go through and make sure you get the correct book. I'm going to click Add. It gives you a summary of the book, so you can also, again, make sure that it's the correct book. Now, Ashton has already read it, so I'm going to click I have read it, and then I'm going to save it. Now it's also going to give me an option to rate the book. Ashton loved this book, so I'm going to give it 5 stars. This book is one of my favorites. It actually is one of her favorites, so I'm going to check this. Who would like this book? Probably mostly girls are going to like this book. Review it. You can just click one of these. She loved this book, so I'm going to say this book was awesome. If you like this book, you would also like, if there's other books that you think, oh, this book is a great book of romance, or this book is a great, actually this particular book, it is a good story about friendships. And then if you would like to, you can type in some comments. You don't have to do that. Can if you want to. And then you click Save. Now that book is added to your bookshelf as one of the books that you have read. So if you go over and click on My Books, now you're going to see Little Women, which was rated with 5 stars. A Child Called It, I had just put in there to kind of test it out. I didn't rate that one, so that's why there's no stars under it. And I just want you to continue clicking on Finished Books, continue searching for the books and adding your books until you have all the books that you've read so far this year listed there on your bookshelf. There are some other things, like there are challenges, which you'll see if you click on Start a Challenge. You'll see that I've actually issued a challenge, and that the challenge is, it says suggested by Miss Montgomery. It's the April challenge. The April challenge is to have read 25 books by the end of April. In order for it to count, it says if you want a book to count towards a challenge, you need to log it in the reading log section. I know you guys have already read these books, so that's fine. But when you click to add to my reading log, you can actually change the date. So you could go back and say, hey, and you don't have to get the date perfect, but if you say, oh, I probably read that around February, you could go back and pick a date in February. You do have to click a book from your shelf, so you have to add the books to your bookshelf first. So I'm going to say Little Women. It'll make you kind of fill in, but that was about 400 pages. I'll say she spent minutes. I'm just going to put 400. I finished the book. I want this to count toward my April challenge. Save. And it's updated so that now that's updated on my challenge. So now if I go back, the next book I add, it's going to tell me how much percentage that I am completed. Like before I added that Little Women book, it said I was 4% toward my goal. Now that Little Women is on there, I should be more toward my goal. So you can also do that if you have time today.